We're live.
Yep.
Morning.
Hey, everybody. We're live. Yes. Hi, Jordan. Hi, Kenny.
Hey, Tom. Hey, Kenny.
Well, it's a gorgeous day here in Maui today. Kenny and I were out doing some filming on the beach. What a beautiful morning! It was just so pretty.
No wind, probably, huh?
Yeah. No wind. There was a guy working on some stuff where we were trying to record, so we had to relocate. It was like, you're killing me, man.
Yeah. Bogeys. Remember, call them bogeys.
Bogeys. There's bogeys in the recording. You did some recording too, didn't you, Jordan, for your band?
Yeah, we did a really cool shoot for this company actually called So Far Sounds, which is actually a pretty big company. They asked us to do a set, and so it's my band that I'm in called Rabbit with 2 T's. It hasn't hit yet, but we got this crazy. We were talking about this right before we got on the air, but it was at a house in Kula with just the most amazing inner island view and ocean view, and we got it right at sunset. It's about a 15-minute set, so I was telling Kenny, hopefully it gets posted soon, so we can all, you guys can all see it. I'll keep you posted on that. Hopefully by next week.
On our page when you get it, if it goes live, that'd be cool to see you doing your passion, your other passion.
My other passion. Sorry.
Hey, what's happening with quarantine, Jordan?
So as of right now, it's still in effect. Actually, it's they reinstated the inner island quarantine. I guess there was how many days of triple-digit increases
on Oahu.
All the Oahu people, man. Oahu people, shame on you.
Stay on Oahu.
Yeah, so they actually reintroduced the 14-day quarantine inter-island, which ultimately I think is a really good thing, just because of how many cases are over there and how little cases have been here.
Right.
And people were just free to, like Wild West, just come over here, spend time here, and just whatever. So ultimately, I think it's a good thing for right now until they figure out what's going on over there.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No.
And then they've said they pushed our quarantine for mainland Trans-Pacific visitors until September 1st. And the fact that they're reinstated the inner island quarantine. Gut feeling is that we're probably going to see them push the Trans-Pacific quarantine out a bit more as well. So we'll see that they typically are 10 to 12 days before they move it last time. So that any day now, I think we'll be hearing something, whether it's going to be a go or no for the Trans-Pacific travelers. We sure would love to have our tourists back because it is really killing our island for the economy's sake. But it's such a balancing act to do both sides of it. I also know that my daughter is heading to New York for school, and New York just identified Hawaii as a hot spot, and so that she's going to have to quarantine when she gets to New York as well. So that's lots of new challenges. We were talking earlier today that if nothing else, this has created adaptability for all our world.
I think the positive thing is we're still doing business. I mean, between you and I mean, we've been closing how many since the pandemic started? We started, more than a dozen sales probably.
Yep.
So we've been able to adapt and survive, which is good. And then another positive note in Maui news is Guri Guri, Tasaka Guri Guri reopened. For those
that is, I can't quite say it. I say it Guri Guri. I know that's not.
A lot of people say Guri Guri, so they're like, "Oh, what is Guri Guri?" It's if you know it as Guri Guri, that's fine. But the Japanese is Guri Guri. And it's that little place in Kahului, a Maui Mall, and it's been there forever. The same workers from when I was a kid, it's a family-owned business, and you get 2 flavors, strawberry and pineapple. And I always get the strawberry, and you get how much scoops you want, and it's amazing.
It's almost like a frozen ice, right?
It's almost like sherbet kind of thing. It's like I've heard from somebody it's half ice cream, half sherbet or something like that. But of course it's a secret recipe, and it's just the most, I don't know, it's amazing. I feel like I want to go down there today.
And it's really inexpensive compared to every place else, if I recall. And we would take our kids there, and they loved going to Guri. So
that's awesome.
It's like $2 for a cup.
Yeah, compared to, yeah, it's really inexpensive.
Especially on Maui, that's great.
Right.
Yeah. There's also right over there, this is more, I guess, more national update, but I just heard Regal is reopening their theaters on August 21st.
Oh.
So come the end of the month, maybe you go see a movie and then go to Goody Goody and get some ice cream, and it's like the good old days.
The
Yeah.
good old day.
Go the goodie day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The goody goody day.
old
Yeah,
days.
there you go, Tom. Now you got it.
So cool. And hey, Jordan, the other thing we were talking about, your sister is in New Zealand, and you were saying that they were sort of like home free, and then all of a sudden they've had a little bit of activity over there too. So some lockdown.
Yeah. So supposedly, I mean, it was almost like life back to normal. I mean, she was telling me that everything was opened up. They had 0 cases for a long time. But I guess there was a few cases that came. I just messaged her, and she said they'll know more Friday what's going on. Auckland is shut down. She's not in Auckland. She's in Taupo, which is a little more north, I think. The rest of us are in level 2, which means no gatherings more than 100 people and social distancing. So she's thinking that they're probably going to lock down a little more too. So yeah, kind of interesting. They were, I think, one of the only countries that had 0 for a while, quite a while. So
yeah. And that's why they're locking down, because they're an island, like a big island, but same kind of thing. And then ours, in everybody's, there's these steps to try to get back to normal, and then there's these back steps, and so it's pretty crazy. I know our schools here in Hawaii the public schools are opening up for social distance learning for the first 4 weeks. I think you had mentioned, Jordan. So they're going to be learning from home, which creates all kinds of new dynamics for parents who have kids that were trying to work. So I just can't imagine what it would be like for families in that regards to try to figure all of this out. So it's been pretty hard. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm sort of like ready for this to just be over. Anybody else?
What was the last thing you cut out just a touch?
I said I am ready for this to just all be over, but unfortunately, I don't.
Yeah, Ken. I was worried, Kenny. You were just sitting there like, no, I like this.
No, I like this. Is fun.
Okay, you didn't hear.
I will say that at the very beginning of this, I can be very introverted, and I love a night in. So for a little while, like a good 3 months, I was like, this is great. This is horrible, but I have a valid excuse to not go anywhere. And then all of a sudden I was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And we don't have we haven't had, it's been a sort of a crazy week around here. Both Jordan and I have been really busy with showing property and trying to put deals together. Yeah, Kenny?
I was going to say maybe one thing that we could touch on, we just were filming some frequently asked questions, and one of the things that we talked about had to do with showing property. I don't know if you want to maybe talk a touch about showing property from afar. We haven't really talked about that too much.
Yeah, that's a good point. So that's one of the things that we've been doing. I was on FaceTime all day yesterday, it seemed like, with clients on the mainland that are relocating here to Maui. And so we were filming, and I went through 5 different properties in the last couple of days with them, filming on FaceTime, showing them the properties. And we went under contract yesterday on a property that that they're buying because of the video that we did, or not the video, but the live presentation that we did. And so it's pretty neat to be able to do that with technology and show people what they're buying. And, we walk around, like, it's not just in the unit. I'm walking through the parking lot. There's a condo, walking through the parking lot, showing them all the amenities and showing them the area and, the parking spaces. So it's a different experience, but it works. And they were so appreciative, and they're so excited. And, they're going to fly over. They actually, one of the people that's buying is getting transferred for work. So they're going to fly over, quarantine for 2 weeks in a quarantinable hotel. And then we're going to close while they're in quarantine, and their partner is going to fly over the day after we close, and they'll quarantine in the unit that they're buying. But the but their other partner is still going to have to stay in the other place because they're going to be in quarantine. But the point is, we're figuring it out, right? I've talked to escrow. They can sign people. They can sign buyers that are in quarantine. They have a process to do that. They'll be able to sign a buyer that's going to be on the mainland. They have a process to do that. So we're working through it all. And I think that's the key to the process, is that we're doing that. I just was on the phone yesterday with some other buyers that are looking at a house. And we're doing that. And Sandy Marshall's watching. She is in quarantine here in Maui. And next week, Sandy, I want you on the show so that we can talk about what you do in quarantine. And they did a video that they're becoming rock and roll stars now. So we're going to play that video next week, Sandy, if it's okay with you, because you were amazing.
I don't know. That might be a little bit of risky business to have someone not on the team.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey.
Anyway, so people are working through it. We're figuring it out. We're trying to help. And Jordan, you've been doing the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. I filmed, I contacted these people and they were like, we've been looking at this one house for forever online. And I said, hey, you know what? I'll go down and video it for you. And they loved it. It's so funny because, on the pictures, they're looking on Zillow, Realtor.com, whatever. And they only have the set pictures and they couldn't place where everything was. So they told me that just having me walk through and show them the layout was like the biggest thing. They actually were like, yeah, we don't like that house as much as we thought we did, and then we ended up identifying another house, which they might eventually go further waiting on a couple things. But it was interesting to see that play out, to say for them, they were like, wow, this is so valuable to have somebody actually walk through, because, you can look online and people will put their pictures all in random orders and you can't make out what's what. So yeah, definitely it's been working out. It's been like we always say, we've been doing this before the pandemic. We've been filming properties for people, so we're not new to this, so
I sold my first property site on Zillow 18 years ago with photographs.
Yeah, that's so you photographs. Yeah,
photographs. Yeah.
Jeez.
So it's not new. We're doing a lot more, and it's become a lot easier, and the technology has really helped. And it's interesting. Like, I went to go FaceTime with somebody, and they said, we don't have an iPhone. It's like, no problem, we'll do Zoom. So we Zoom, we FaceTime, WhatsApp. There's a lot of different resources. So don't, if you're out there and thinking, oh, I don't have this or I don't have that, we've got the resources. And if the bandwidth is crappy, we just get you to load Marco Polo. There's so many different alternatives that we can make it work. Sandy Marshall, I love it. Yes, it is a great place to quarantine. So, and she was talking about that they've got the deliveries figured out. That's why I really do want to have Sandy on the show next week, so she can talk about her experience of setting stuff up, getting food, getting deliveries, getting things all situated. And it's worked out for them. I mean, obviously, it would be ideal if they could have just came over here and used their unit, but they booked it they're coming over for a month. They'll do 2 weeks in quarantine. They're getting their whole place set up for the first 2 weeks. And then after that, they'll have 2 weeks of vacation and be able to enjoy it. And they have a beautiful condo that they bought not too long ago. So. Cool. And then new listings. What do you got new, Jordan?
Kihei, I don't know if we talked about it last week, but we'll talk about it again. Kihei, right across from Cam 2 Beach, Kamole 2 Beach Park, stone throw from the ocean. Really nice remodeled unit for $497. Tucked back in the back of the complex, which is nice. Is we always talk about knowing the location is great, because some of the units towards the front, you're prone to some road noise and stuff. So this one's tucked back in the back, and really nice unit. So
cool. And I just listed one right next door in Haleakamaole, 1 bedroom, 1 bath. I love this unit. They've got some really fun stuff. It's really pretty decorations, very beachy. Really nice wide bay width on the unit, and an ocean view. I'll walk across the street to the Camp Kamole Beach Park 3. And that's on the market for $550, and does great in vacation rentals as well. And then another one I just listed was it's not on the market yet. We're just getting photos and stuff tomorrow, and that's on Halama Street. and it's an oceanfront. It is the quintessential little grass shack. It's the tin roof and 2 bedrooms, and really, really adorable. And you could literally throw a wiffle ball from the inside of the living room into the ocean. It's that close. So for somebody who wants to be right there on the water, it's a great spot. And that one's going to be coming on the market for $3.5 million. Great property. And one other one, if anybody's looking for a little bit of a fixer-upper, I've got something that I'm working on in Haiku, a house and a cottage. Can't really give you much more information than that. But if you've got if you're thinking that might be of interest, in the 800,000 range, with a 2-bedroom cottage and a 3-bedroom house on a third of an acre, in a good location in Haiku, reach out to me and we can chat, or reach out to Jordan and give you information on it. And so that's what we got. Anything else, kids?
I think we're good.
Got all of it shaken. All right. If you have questions for us, let us know. Reach out to us. Email us. Call us. My number, 808-280-2055. Jordan, what's your phone number?
808-264-4123.
And we'll be happy to help you out. Be happy to be your eyes and ears on the ground here in Maui. Eyes to see the location, and ears to see if it's noisy. Like that. All right. I'm done. Have a great day, everybody.